Comedies come in all shapes and sizes, genres and flavors. You can pick from any number of comedic subgenres, from slapstick to farce to raunchy to ridiculous. But sometimes the funniest movies aren't actually comedies, but are sprinkled with moments of wonderful hilarity. With these films, the laughs come out of nowhere and hit their mark. There's nothing like a movie that makes you laugh when you least expect it. Here are 20 films that do just that. Funny how, like a clown? Martin Scorsese's mob flick is filled with violent action, bloody spectacle and extremely dark humor. The jokes aren't jokes per se, but you end up leaving with a huge smile on your face anyway. Laugh tracks, 18 of the funniest songs in rock history. Robert De Niro in another comedy? As long as it's not one of those geriatric comedies he's been churning out lately. The actor has the capability of being genuinely hilarious, as he is in this buddy flick about a detective taking a criminal to jail. In Bruges is about a couple hitmen stuck in the picturesque Belgian city of, you guessed it, Bruges. They bicker over pints, wander the city like ghosts and occasionally bond over their mutual disdain for the Kardashians. There's not much more to it, except some of the sharpest dialogue ever written. Singers who also double as their band's most talented musician. Everyone talks about the looks of Ryan Gosling, which set off flash flood warnings in movie theaters. I almost brought a poncho to my showing, which was packed with very amused moms. But what stood out to me most was the humor. Greta Gerwig's script had me laughing more than any other movie to hit theaters in years. Thanks to her version of Ken, this thing is indelibly funny. Anything with Robin Williams is bound to have moments of hilarity. Even his worst movies are bolstered by his unbelievable commitment to the part. The actor brought an honest, unwavering sympathy to his roles, and his commitment to the role of poetry professor is a fine example. He gives this film its heart, its soul and yes, its humor. The 30 most impactful drummers in music history. Alright. It's one of the best examples of a non-comedy being hilarious. Richard Linklater's story of the last day of high school is packed with iconic lines, many of which make us laugh out loud. Wes Anderson has a style that doesn't make us bellow with laughter but does make us chuckle in amusement. The exception being Rushmore, which is one of the funniest movies ever made. His Tale of Children on the Run is not exactly hilarious, but it does have some silly moments. 20 country music love songs that have become iconic. A movie that tries to cram everything everywhere all at once into a single sitting should have some comedy, right? Glad you agree, because without the comedy, the film just wouldn't be the same. There would be no fanny pack fights, sex toy battles or talking rocks, all of which add to the operatic absurdity of the Daniels epic. It's a rom-com, silly. Of course there's going to be comedy. Well, yes, but most rom-coms don't have the same laugh ratio as many raunch fests. Notting Hill is extremely funny, perpetually piling on the jokes at Hugh Grant's expense. He's never been better, and Julia Roberts, who smiles like she's posing for a toothpaste ad, has never been better as well. 23 actors who possess instantly recognizable voices. Disney has turned into a robotics studio of late, going through the same motions of live-action remakes. It makes you long for the days of WALL-E, when even the studio's robots were alive with heart, humor and invention. The robot left on Earth to clean up trash could very well be picking up copies of Disney's remake collection. Before Greta Gerwig was a director, she was a luminous gem on the indie scene. Anytime she showed up in a movie, you wanted to see what she was going to do next. The actress' wistful energy was never more realized than in Frances Ha, a small film about a woman's midlife crisis that made a giant impact. 20 actors who were fired, killed off, or quit TV shows they starred in. Bueller? Anyone? It's hard to imagine Ferris Bueller's Ditch Day being this iconic if it weren't so funny. While it might not be a comedy, it's up there with the best of them. There aren't many films that make me laugh like this one. Family arguments, middle-class malaise and childhood confusion, all of it crammed into spandex? Disney delivered one of their funniest movies with this tale of everyday superheroes, the slapstick of banality being the humor's grounding force. The country music groups that made the biggest impact on the genre. There aren't many characters who have made me laugh like Walter, the best friend of the dude and the most patriotic man you've ever seen. The Coen brothers' endlessly quotable film isn't a comedy, but Walter is funny enough to support an entire comedy on his own. If the entire film was just him yelling, it would still be an instant classic. Nothing says comedy like a boy staging his own death over and over again, right? The story of a suicidal boy and a senior citizen might not sound like it would be funny, but Hal Ashby's script is noose-tight, delivering hilarious moments that choke you with laughter. The 25 most iconic acting families in movie history. Sometimes a movie is so ridiculous, you can't help but laugh. At the sight of an assassin holding a baby in one arm while shooting villains with the other, there's no way you don't chuckle in awe. Hard Boiled is super cool, super funny and super ridiculous. A masterpiece in mass execution. This is one of those movies that qualifies as a bunch of different genres, yet remains comedic. Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio get into all sorts of amusing situations as they try to thrive in 1960s showbiz. The final scene is one of those jaw-dropping moments you can't help but laugh at. The 20 greatest improvised lines in TV history. You thought Tom Cruise strapping himself to a plane was cool? Wait until you see what Jackie Chan does here. Hanging from a bus, hopping off a roof and dispensing of hundreds of villains, Chan delivers stunts so impressive they become hilarious. The Holiday is one of those films your mom likes to watch, and when you sit down to watch a little with her, you're shocked at how good it is. It helps to have the indelible talents of Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz, Jack Black and Jude Law, who give their relationships the life they need. And the film is actually funny. Turns out some of the movies your mom watches on a quiet afternoon are actually quite good. The 20 most clever TV shows of all time. Is there a funnier fairy tale out there? Inconceivable. This tale of a kidnapped princess and her true love is genuinely hilarious. It's a wonderful film with tons of laughs. Did you enjoy this slideshow?